So that's something I'm really passionate about. You know, our firm has been in existence for over 2 decades, and when people ask us what do we do, you know, I always say that our firm helps families protect their wealth from the government and creditors. But at the end of the day, we work with, you know, primarily a lot of business owner clients, and I'm a big believer that the business owner community is so important to our society, because I feel like if we can help that business owner grow their business, we're not only helping the owner and their family, but we're really helping the employees, because without employees you don't really have a business, and then ultimately making a dent in the universe because of the customers and clients that benefit from that business being in existence. And there's a great book called The E-Myth Revisited that talks about that just because you're good at making pies doesn't mean that you're good at the business of making pies. And a lot of people don't really understand that role. They view themselves as a good architect or engineer or doctor, but running a medical practice or an engineering firm is a completely different ballgame. And, you know, with the help of a lot of coaches and a lot of training and a lot of reading, we've really, unlike a lot of law firms, frankly, we've actually studied under some of the best growth coaches in the country. So we can help our clients, not just on the legal side, actually help them grow their businesses. And that can range anything from actually doing a business development plan. Most people would be amazed, even with mature businesses, that there is no plan in place for how the business is supposed to work relative to the marketing, and how does the marketing, you know, support, you know, is supported by the sales function, and how is that then in turn, you know, backed up by the actual operations of the business. And when you have a really well thought out business development plan, it's actually a plan for the business and how it's all supposed to interrelate. What kind of people do you need? What kind of, you know, facilities do you need? It can go to strategic planning. So we've actually mimicked a lot of the stuff that Vern Harnish teaches about, whereby you do annual strategic planning, where you set what we call SMART-based goals, which are specific, measurable, timeline goals that are attainable and reasonable and related to the purposes of the organization. And it's amazing that how few people do that, because it's almost like saying, well, I want to get from New Orleans to Anchorage. I got to know where I'm going. Where's the end first? Once I figure out where I want to be, what we would call the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal, we got to figure out what steps we need to take to get there. What do we need to do in terms of marketing? What do we need to do in terms of our sales team? What do we need to do in terms of our people and our facilities and all those sorts of things? And strategic planning is, you know, the concept of trying to figure out what is your company, why does your company exist, what are your core values, and then what are your strategic objectives, and tactically how are we going to try to achieve those. So we help people with that. We help people, you know, start to develop written plans and written operations procedures manuals. So at our firm, for example, we have a written, documented policies and procedures and systems manual where we have, you know, how do we hire people? How do we train those people? How do we try to keep them engaged and enjoying their job? We have, you know, procedures on how do we answer the phone? What happens if the computer system goes down? We actually have checklists and policies that kind of explain how our business works, so that way, if you have a key employee that no longer works for you, instead of having all that institutional knowledge just pass, now you can have written, documented processes that you can train by. We can hire by those core values that you've developed in strategic planning. And I got to tell you that that's really something that I enjoy, again, because we're not just helping the business owner, we're helping their employees, and we're helping all the customers and clients that benefit. And we just love working with business owners to help them grow their business.